Hello, everyone. TGIF, good evening. Welcome. Hi, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Artreprenuer Series. I'm so happy that you're here with us tonight. You could be doing anything right now, be anywhere, but you're here with us tuning in. And that's the best place to be because tonight we're going up for moms. So as you know, this weekend is Mother's Day weekend. Yay, go moms! Yes! I'm going in for my mom right now. I love my mama. She's not here. Ma, I love you. And it's okay. It's all right. So if you're near your mom, if you can get your mom to be tuning in with us tonight. I know technology is a thing, but that's all right. Tonight, we're going to talk about how technology, online, social media, websites can help you boost your brand, live an efficient, time-saving life if you have a business, and even for the next and upper generations who feel like maybe the online thing is just not for me. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And there's proof. Mompreneurs do it every single day. They put in the work, they put in the time, and listen, her hustle is just different. It is, y'all. I mean, when I think about moms, I feel that superhero. I feel that super shero, just coming through every single day, making it happen. The twists and turns, the obstacles, and she still shows up with a smile, beauty, and grace. Why? Because she's an example for her daughter, for her son, for the nephews, for community. That is her joy, her essence, her beauty, and her magic. If I can say so, it's magical. So this evening, I will get to share with you some magical people. They've dedicated time, energy, resources to building their brand, boosting their brand, and living that every single day. You know, when we see a brand logo, we probably think, oh, that's nice, looks good. But what does it really do? Don't worry, they're going to talk you through it tonight when they share with you who they are and what they do every single day to live it. So before we do, I want to take this time to thank our sponsors, thank our presenters, and thank our family for being here. Island Signature Magazines in Barbados, we thank you. Your contributors, your writers, these are women, these are moms, these are mompreneurs, just like my guest this evening. And all I gotta say is check it out. Right here on Facebook, all you have to do is click their page. They are our presenters this evening, so you can't miss them. You can also find them on Instagram at Island Signatures Magazine. What they do is seek to diversify their platform, their audiences, their viewers, and their readers. Contributors come from all over, myself being one of them here in the US, Trinidad and Tobago, right there in Barbados, Jamaica, and the list goes on. If you are a writer, this may be the place for you. If you're into photography, if you're a blogger, this may be the place for you. If you like good news, articles, media, this is the place for you. And speaking of media, we wouldn't be here tonight without Trend Media. Thank you all for making this possible and helping us to elevate this share tonight right here on Facebook. And this is what we're talking about, y'all. Community, that coming together makes it all work. So when you see one person going up, I want you to go ahead and say, yes, I see you. Keep winning. In fact, let's do what we do every time when we go live. Go ahead and type in hashtag my winning week. How's your week been? I want to hear. Yes. Yes. How have you had a winning week? Tell us. Was it one thing that worked out that what you weren't expecting to work out? Did you get that gift from mom? Did it come through? Whatever it is, we're celebrating with you tonight because this is the year of the artist. You know, we talked about this during the week, our recap of just how essential the arts are. If you think about it, you can't do anything without artistry, without creativity, without culture, without essence, without flow. Banners, commercials, promos, these are all artistic endeavors. And when you run a business, when you have a brand, you can boost that by being super fun, super creative, and being yourself. That's how you reach people. People want to connect. They want to feel like you're a real person. What's that? Oh, Pinocchio. I'm a real boy. Sometimes you get online, you're like, is this person real? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So reels, the TikTok, you can bring people into your world, bring people into your brand, give them a sense of what it's all about and why when they purchase your product, why when they dive into your resource or that service that you offer here online, worldwide, they can connect and live it too. So if you're just tuning in, welcome, welcome. This is the Artreprenuer Series, and tonight we're talking to mompreneurs who are entrepreneurs and getting it done at home. The two go hand in hand, but it's never easy. It is never easy. So I want to take this time to recognize what's happening in our world. In St. Vincent, Volcano Sulfur recently erupted and families had to leave their homes. So with pandemic, with virtual school, virtual living and working, this added element of now being displaced from your home, from your familiar, is enough to break a person down. But if you have access to your smartphone, if you can use this to stay connected on Facebook and Instagram and shout yourself out, share your business ideas, you can win. This can be your winning year, and this can be your winning week. I also now want to touch on Trinidad and Tobago. We feel you all. Even though we're not there, quarantine is taking its toll. And they've been moved back into lockdown. The shutdown is happening all over again. People are being put into their homes. But let's remember what didn't work when we heard that we were going to be quarantined the first time. Just go ahead and type in the comment box the shock of it. What was the very first impression you had when you heard that this is a real thing? We are going to be in our homes. We're not going to have access to the things that we usually do. We're going to be at a distance. What was your impressions? What were your impressions? I'm sorry. So tonight, when you hear these stories from moms, from mompreneurs, I hope that you will be inspired to take bold, courageous steps, being you, showing up as yourself online, and using that as a win, using creativity to send you into success. So without further ado, I think I'm going to bring on my first guest for this evening so you can get a sense of what I mean when I say a mompreneur. She is a global citizen. I can never keep up with her. She's all over the place. Right now, she's in Atlanta, or I think she's in Georgia somewhere. I don't know. I'm telling you, her pen, that coordinates, it just moves, child. I love it. She's a life and wellness fitness coach. And together with her daughter, she inspires her viewers, her followers, and her clients every single day to live the dream. She has transformed from weight issues, from self-esteem issues, from things that we face daily as women, and especially as mothers who are grinding and hustling and putting in the work. But never mind, because this sister's hustle is just different. Her name is Dana, and I'm so excited that she's here tonight. So say hello to Dana. Hi, Dana. Oh, you gotta unmute for us so we can hear you, girlfriend.
There we go. Hello, hello. How are you? Can you hear me loud and clear?
We can hear you, sis. We can hear you. Welcome.
Perfect. So I thank you so much, Kayla, for just inviting me this evening. I am so thankful just to be on the line with you today, and I'm so appreciative the month of Mother's Day, the weekend of Mother's Day, that you thought so much about me just because of, the platform that I share with my viewers. And I just really, really thank you for allowing me to, be with you today.
My pleasure. I've been following your journey for some time now, a couple of years, and it's inspirational. That's the only word that I can think of among many to describe how real your connection, your bond is with your daughter, and how that translates into the work that you do every single day. So, Dana, why don't you tell us about yourself and tell us about why you're here tonight?
Yeah, so of course, like we said, I am a mother that I definitely have chosen that to be a favorite role for me because it shows that through my transition, I also get to kind of walk and guide someone else along that journey as well. So I'm originally from Washington, D.C., and I do travel a lot, Kayla. So thank you for that. That is one thing I have learned that definitely is, for one, literally my vibe. Some people are, scared of new environments, new things. And for me, my daughter and I thrive off of it. It's like we come alive, right? When it comes to just what we're doing, and when it comes to just seeing different cities and things of that nature. And then for me and my background, I am. I came from a household with an independent mom, right? She was single, and her perspective on how to get things done, like many mothers, was just to have a product sometime. Well, have a product and sell it for wholesale, right? You get it for wholesale site and sell it at retail, and that was how we made extra money, right? A lot of single moms, they have multiple jobs, but sometimes it's just not enough. So I grew up subconsciously in the household where my mom was just an entrepreneur. She would get in her car on the weekends, right, and drive up to New York. And it could be North Face jackets if it was the wintertime. It could be things that she was going to create Mother Day baskets for, Valentine's Day baskets. And I constantly watch her hustle and really just create an additional stream of income that she could kind of control, right? So I came from that background, and for me, it was just embedded. Entrepreneurship was definitely embedded into me from that age of 7 years old. So I just love being able to now be an entrepreneur and share my journey with my daughter to really push me to the next level and to create a bond that's intentional and purposeful. So I don't know if you know want me to say anything else, but I just love being in the health and wellness industry. I found it super important, for one, because there are things that we must pass down to our children, especially moms, that we want them to hold on. Not if it's just a business or if it's just, material things, but you want to instill and pass on things like good health. So I'm so excited to be in the company that I am. I'm so excited to be in the field that I am, and just really being an advocate for children and parents to really see that the journey is challenging, but it's not impossible. So I play parent partners in many, many families' lives. So it's a little background.
Indeed, the journey may be difficult, may be trying, may be challenging, but it is not impossible. And you are a show of that. So tell us, what gave you the go to just say, I'm doing it, I'm joining, I'm being a part of this movement, and I'm going to dedicate myself to this?
Okay, so the just a little bit background. Like I said, I came from a household of entrepreneurship. So when I tried to, I had my daughter, and I was searching for something, and the older people around me said, "Hey, get a good job. That 40-40-40 plan. Work for 40. What is it? Work for 40 hours a week for 40 years and retire 40%." And when I looked up, I had very great jobs that were sustainable, right? But I was not happy. When I looked around these individuals, they were pretty complacent, but I knew that I wanted something more mentally, right? I wanted something bigger. So I searched. I looked for something that I could include my daughter in, and it's not any shame to any other industries, but I knew health and wellness would be really a good fit for my daughter and I. So fast forwarding, I heard about a young guy named Daryl Drake. He's actually my mentor and my friend, and he was a millionaire dropout. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm sitting here working this 9 to 5 in college. I have college friends who saying like, hey, I graduated last year, but guess what? I still can't find a job. And I'm at this corporate job where people are like, yo, I want that job. And I'm like, you want this? You're graduating to come here? Like, I don't even want this anymore because, I was a new mom, and they complained if I, had to stop and, go check on my daughter at the daycare that was literally only 3 blocks away. But if I went over on my lunch break, then I was having issues where, just neglect in the center at where she was. And I started to become really uneasy and frustrated, and to say like, this cannot be life. Like I have this stable job, my daughter's in daycare, but I'm not comfortable where I am. And I took a leap of faith. My mom said, she said, listen, you are young and you have your whole life ahead of you. If this is not what you want, don't stay here. So I remember saying, okay, like my mom told me that was okay. And we literally got hired at the same time. So she was like, if it's not for you, choose what's next and I'll support you. So that's what I did. I stepped out on faith. I took an internship to Hawaii, look, right, for 3 or 4 months. And that was me saying, okay, I have to figure it out. So fast forward, my daughter is like 3 at this point. We were diagnosed with asthma. So I was like, I don't want my daughter to go through what I did as a child. I knew that dairy was an issue, but I wasn't really educated as to what was the bigger issue. So I just started trying different things. And what I noticed is that when I ate less dairy, we could breathe a lot more. I felt a little better. When I stayed away from meat, I realized like, hey, I don't feel so sluggish. But when I was introduced to these products, like one of the products that we take is our liquid vitamin. This is my absolute favorite. Okay. And all this vitamin is, and really quick, I love this story because the company and the guy, the CEO, his name is Jack Fallon. He sold this out of the trunk of his car, just like my mom when she went down, to New York and had a product. He sold this out of the trunk of his car. It is a liquid vitamin that you take every morning, and it's just a shot, right? And it is equivalent to eating 10 raw salads. So it has all the nutrients that you need for your body. And so my daughter loved it. Anybody between 2 to, the elderly, right, can take this product. So I'm so thankful that as a busy mom, when, we might eat pizza on some days, because though we lessen what we eat when it comes to like dairy products, we're not vegan or anything like that. We're just selective with our stuff. I know that my daughter has the right nutrients in her daily diet. The other one that I wanted to talk about, because it helped clear that mucus out. And there would be many times where I'm like, oh my gosh, after a pizza, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, like my chest is hurting. I can't breathe. My baby looking at me for her asthma pump. And I'm like, well, what do? We start detoxing. We kept our detox on hand. And all you do is take this. It's all natural. You brew it. And what it does, while you're sleeping, it's going in and cleaning out your kidney, your colon, your liver, getting all of those toxins and mucus buildup out of your body, So some people say, I don't eat meat, okay, well, I don't do dairy, but you breathe air in America, as we know, is really polluted. We have pesticides that sprayed on our stuff. So there's so many different things that I'm like, hey, if I can give my daughter some Takis or just, some other stuff that is really not, I can give her some detox tea. So those was our two go-to. And once I started learning, I had a friend who was vegan, like different ways to cook cauliflower and, little replacements. It became fun. And like, Molly, you want some chicken? She's like, yes, I want some chicken. At 3 years old, but it was really cauliflower. And when I started realizing, I'm like, oh, we're on the road. And I really felt it physically within our health. So it was definitely a personal thing for me.
Amazing. So you said a few things that sparked my attention. One is, and I dropped it in the comment box, millionaire dropout. So I'm going to do something fun with you really quick, and then we're going to circle back later because I want you to really take us into some of your social media hacks and tricks and tips that you use to get attention to your followers for this product. So I'm going to sing about 10 seconds of Kanye West's Good Morning. You know the album?
Okay, a little bit, yeah.
So this is I think it's his college dropout album.
I'm gonna have to go listen to it now that you say it, but okay.
And I want you to show us how you take your vitamins with this liquid vitamin, how easy it is, how accessible it is.
Yes, okay.
So, and you know what? This may even take 5 seconds because this is what we want you all to see, that living a healthy life doesn't take 30 minutes to drive to your doctor's office, 1 hour to sit in the waiting room, 15 minutes to talk to the doctor, and then a 10-minute wrap up to drive another 20 minutes to get your pharmaceutical drugs, and then go 30 minutes back home when you do in 5 seconds. Just saying. Okay, here we go. Ready and go. Good morning. Good morning.
And it's so cold and good.
Yes.
10 salads.
10 salads, 2 seconds. You got to get into this. So Dana is going to be chatting in our comment box about how you can get in touch with her, connect, and learn more about TLC. And we're going to circle back for a little trivia later on. Thank you, Dana.
Awesome. Thank you.
So our next mompreneur gets it done just the same. In fact, she's overcoming some challenges as we speak, and she's done it with grace and ease. This is what moms do. They show up. I just want somebody to put in the comment box, #show up. No matter what is going on, just show up. And she teaches her daughter this daily. She started a podcast called the Flourish Podcast, and I cannot wait for her to touch on just what that does, what that is, and why you want to tune in and listen. She goes by Delancia, and she is a content creator. So get your questions ready if you want to get better at being creative and being confident about your shares as a mompreneur. Let's move the window over to the side. There we go. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Wonderful. Good to see you there. Good to see you. Welcome to the Artreprenuer Series tonight, Mompreneur. We are featuring you in this moment, and I'm just going to do a quick sound check thing. Make sure that you got your volume down if you're tuning to us on Facebook elsewhere, so we can get the echo.
No, I'm not.
Okay, I think that's good. Good to go.
All right. Awesome.
Yes, he can hear you fine. It's a little blurry, but I think
that is likely clear. My camera still blurry.
No, it's much better.
Okay.
So Delancia, thank you for showing us just what we're talking about here. Moms show up despite the challenges. So how was your day? What was a typical day like for you?
So my day today was very busy because I'm in the midst of a transition. Today was my last official day in my current job. I submitted my resignation about actually last Friday because I was told that I would have to return to work on July 12th. And, with the current pandemic and childcare being limited, that just was not, it no longer aligned with what I need, what I desire at this time. And an opportunity came a couple days later after that conversation. And I stepped out the boat put in my resignation, and my last day will be the 21st, but I will be on vacation for the next 2 weeks using my sick leave. So I'll
That's
have
what I'm
more
talking
time
about. Choosing you, self-care first.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, I'm a firm believer that when things no longer serve
Wonderful.
you,
So
you
tell
just have
us,
to give it up.
agreed. I imagine that's just some of the nuggets of wisdom that you drop on your podcast. Why don't you tell us about some of the things you touch on in the Flourish and what we can expect when we tune in to your podcast, Alacia?
Absolutely. So some of the things that I touch on in the Flourish podcast is really listeners will have the opportunity to glean insights from me, sage practical advice, not just from my solo podcast, but also from my interviews. And it's really about the journey, things that I've learned along the way, things that I am still learning along my journey. So Flourish is really helping people, Black women in particular, plant seeds to cultivate their best professional and personal lives.
That's amazing. So one of the things that I I learned about you is that you're encouraging moms to create healthy boundaries. Can you touch on that a bit? Why is that important?
Boundaries are absolutely important for every aspect of our lives, whether you are married, single, a bae, a boo, what have you, whether you work for yourself or work for someone else. Have a plethora of friends. It's very important to create those healthy boundaries. Otherwise, our peace will be interrupted. Don't be stressed out. Um, in my podcast, my one of my recent podcasts, The Power of No, I really talk about how even saying no to our children is important because you're teaching them lessons about setting boundaries and respecting boundaries as well.
Mhm.
If you want to do something, just simply say you don't want to. You know, if you have to ponder on it, that means that you really don't want to do it. And it's okay to say no. People may get upset, but they will get over it. It does not negate you from helping them in the future. But at this moment, if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't align with you, if it does not, bring in more money, if it does not, if it's going to take away time from you, precious time that you cannot get back, it is okay to say no because the more you say yes, the more things you commit yourself to, and you don't want to live with regrets later on saying, "Dang, I knew I should have said no to that particular thing." It's important.
Absolutely. I love that you touched on that. So I want to swing this question to you, rite of passage, because generational gifts, blessings, but then also sometimes curses can happen when we do not acknowledge the fact that what may work for one person doesn't necessarily work for another. So what may work for her may not, the big her may not work for the little her. What are some of the things that you are healthily, positively passing on to your daughter, being a mompreneur that you are?
Absolutely. Telling her to own both her yes and her no, right? So she can have whatever she wants in this world. And then there are things that she can say no to as well. So the one thing that I teach her is it's important to show up,
Mhm.
excellent in everything that she does, to be honest with herself first, so then she can freely be honest with other people. Teach her about integrity as well. So letting her know that she's not obligated, even as a woman, she's not obligated to become a mom if she does not want to. That is perfectly fine. She never has to get married if she does not want to, because those are not things that define her womanhood. She has the power, the ability to define who she is. So letting her know that the choices that she makes, of course, be thoughtful about those things, understand the consequences that may come along with it, whether they are positive or negative, but to own whatever decision that she makes and knowing that I'm gonna always have her back. So I always show up for my daughter. I'm going to defend her when she's right, and I'm going to correct her when she's wrong. And the one thing that I always tell her is accountability and responsibility. You have to be responsible for the choices that you make, and you have to be accountable for how you make other people feel and the things that you do. So and I tell her, even as a child, I challenge her to hold me accountable for things as well, so that I can take responsibility. So if I make her feel, if I hurt her feelings, for instance, it's okay for her to say, "Mommy, when you said or when you did, it made me feel this way." That way I can own that and apologize and correct that wrong. So I want her to go out into the world understanding that same thing too.
That's amazing. And she's how old?
She will be 9 on May 31st. So in a few weeks, and she's on the countdown to, on her birthday countdown. So she's very excited about turning 9. So very wise little girl.
Oh,
That's
is she?
the human that she is.
Is she? That's amazing. You know what? Both you and Dana, I'm going to go ahead and bring Dana back on. Both you and Dana touched on alignment. You mentioned the word alignment, and I love that. That's critical, that's key. We're actually on the 7th day, and we went live at 7 p.m. And the number 7, what does the number 7 mean to you ladies?
Completion. Number of completion. I was number 7 on my line when I pledged. So in 7, even in astrology, according to my astrological sign in my natal chart, the number 7 definitely shows up for me. So that's one of my numbers, one of my lucky numbers.
Dana, what does 7 mean to you?
So that was the same too. To me, the 7 always signifies like luck. Of course, in a, like you said, one of it being a completion. But there's something about the number 7 just feeling like whatever I'm doing in that moment is definitely has God's presence as well as mine and the people around me. That's how I feel like, because like my number is 111, like, oh, I am aligned with God at this moment. But when I see 777, I know that what I'm doing, oh, well, you just said something similar. Okay, yeah, the people that I'm connected to, we're in alignment at this very moment. So that makes sense. Wow.
Yes, indeed.
And
Yes.
so much so, normally I'm on the West Coast and it'll be 4 p.m. for me. And now I'm on the West Coast where it's 7. So that part as well.
Now you're on the East Coast, right?
Yep, I'm on the East Coast. So normally it'll be 4 p.m. for me. But because you even said that and brought it up, it shows that we're in alignment with what we're doing. So, yes.
Yes.
Completion, alignment, action, purpose, power. Amazing, amazing. And then the number 9 for Delphia's little girl who's turning 9. That's my life number, actually. 9 is a number of change, leadership, growth, agency, all those kinds of things. So in this week 9, I want to challenge you to observe and allow her to tap into her freedom and her autonomy and come to you more. Because she sees everything that you've been doing. And she is already, I know, even without having met her, because you're such a powerhouse. So you'll be amazed, shocked this year, how she.
But that's interesting that you said that. This year, she's decided that she wanted to change schools. She says that, she's ready for a different environment because she doesn't feel challenged and supported in her current environment. And I asked her several times if she was sure. And I said, well, what about your friends? And she said, oh, I'm friends with them outside of school. I don't have to be in school with them to play with them. And so I commended her on her ability to make her own decision and to feel empowered. And I told her that, she's really growing up, because I thought it was a very mature decision or explanation for her to have to make that decision. So I am seeing, all of those things showing up for her at this point. So it's exciting. I can't wait to see what happens in chapter 9 of her book. So.
Yes. And Dana, how old or how young is Mila?
So Mila she just turned 7. No, sorry, 8. She just turned 8. It made me say 7 because I was like, wow, that for me, 7 was that just even for us, like last year, our brand really took off during COVID, and I felt like that was that alignment and what I was doing, and inspiring other parents. Like, oh my gosh, like I just absolutely love what you're doing with your daughter. That was our year of her even being 7. So like now she's 8. For me, that is like the significance of a sense of balance, right? Of a flow, right? Like the infinity sign. And then
Mm.
she keeps saying, when I turn 9, well, she wanted a dog so bad. So I said, okay, when you turn 9, that was probably when she was like 6. So she's like, Mom, yeah, I'm going to be 9 next year. So for me, I know that even for the number 9, it's definitely uh that space of like walking in our purpose, full throttle, that God has for us, and almost like that divine connection of what we're doing within our purpose. So that's why I felt like number 9, and that has always followed me as well.
Mm.
So just a quick technical feedback, getting a little feedback. Someone has a device that is playing our live. We're kind of getting an echo. So just be mindful. Yeah, awesome. Well, you ladies are clearly bold, courageous. You walk the walk, you live it every single day. How are you inspired by motherhood, by your little ones, to stay passionate about your projects, be it podcasts, be it just daily life, be it TLC products, be it how you show up in community for friends and family? Um, Speak to that a little bit, ladies.
Okay,
Dana, first.
so you said how does my daughter inspire me, right? As in our community. It was echoing a little bit. Can you hear me
Oh,
okay?
just just tell us one thing that is inspirational to you to continue pursuing this passion project that you
Okay.
have.
So for me, like the fact that I really include my daughter on my health journey has been the best feeling, I want to say, because a lot of times we do a lot of things, like we have our own businesses and we leave the children out, right? So I wanted something, because I come from a background where I've worked in, with military families. I worked in the DC public school system. I worked for the Department of Family and Children's Services. I've worked, one-on-one with nanny, luxury services. So I've seen a wide variety of both parents and children and how they play within a community. And what I notice is that children really thrive when you engage them. If you say like, hey, can you do X, Y, and Z? They're like, sure, especially if you make it seem like it's their idea and it's for the benefit of them as well, right? So I start noticing that, on my journey, there'll be moments she'll get excited, like, hey, are we doing this? Are we making this? And sometimes when it wasn't as exciting, I had to get creative. So I'm like, okay, if I make this particular food this way, because though our products help, with like giving us that boost, I still wanted to create a lifestyle, right? So of healthier, everything, spiritually, mentally, physically, just wellness overall. But when we're eating and I'm like, hey, Mila, should we try this or that? And she'd be like, nah, I don't think I like this, or nah, okay, we can try that. And so just to get her initial reaction is just kind of funny. So it's like, one of those things, like I'm able to put myself in her shoes and just really get another perspective. So with TLC too, a lot of times, like I said, again, we build businesses, and as parents, we forget the children. And to bring her in a little bit, and if you follow me on Instagram, you'll be able to see our videos that we do in the morning when we have our NutriBurst and she's singing into the camera and she's excited genuinely because the products makes her feel good and she know what the process looks like.
Awesome. I love that. So you know what? I'm going to actually insert, I'm going to bring on someone new who may be able to speak to the wisdom of motherhood as well. We all know this person. We've all heard this voice. We've all been touched by this voice. We've all been inspired by this person on many occasions, whether it's a presidential address whether it's something that you've seen on a movie or a poem. I'm wondering if this mom could talk to us and share with us some words of wisdom from a mom's perspective. Um, Maya?
The mic is muted.
Unmute yourself, Mom.
There we go.
Right. Hello, ladies. I'm so glad to be here. I must say, I am so glad to join you all this evening.
Well, first, let me say hello. My name is DeCarlo Raspberry. And then, secondly, I want to say, from Maya's point of view, hello. As I sat here and I listened to you ladies talk about your daughters and just talk about the things that you do, especially just the advice and the freedom that you also give your daughters, I'm inspired. Although I'm not a mother, um, and I don't have any children, I am an educator. So I have, many children, but I have not gone through, of course, giving birth. But I will say this: it reminded me of a quote that Maya Angelou had said in an interview when she was talking about the relationship between her and her mother. And she said this, and I, of course, will say it like her.
She said, it is important to love your child and not be in love with your child. People who are in love with their child can decide intentionally or unintentionally that they can be described by their children. Your child has his or her own life, and we as parents as our own.
And when I think about that, I think about just the freedom that my mother gave me to be myself, to be creative, to be an artist, to be honest with myself. And she realized that, and I will say this: my mom is a mompreneur as well. She let me just be exactly who I am, and who, as we would say, who God called us to be. And she did not try to live through me. She did not try to create my own narrative. She let me create my own narrative. And it brings me to another quote that Maya said, another quote where she says,
A woman liberates a girl into a woman, and the greatest gift you can give to your daughter is that. And she also said that her mother, she said, my mother did not diminish me.
and the relationship that she had with her mom, she understood that her mother could only give certain things. And she understood that, of course, as she gotten older. And she said, in that particular interview, she said that her mother said to her one day that made her feel so foolish. Her mother said to her,
Baby, I've been thinking, and now I am sure. You are the greatest woman I've ever met. You are very kind and very intelligent. And those elements are not always found together. Miss Eleanor Roosevelt, Miss Mary McLeod Bethune, and my mother, yes, you belong in that category.
and Maya said that that particular moment for her was very monumental in her relationship with her mom. And although she spent a lot of time with her grandmother, to have that relationship with her mom was very, 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 very monumental for her.
Thank you for sharing, DeCarlo.
You're
DeCarlo,
welcome.
yeah, Helen Hayes award-winning actor, vocalist. He's an artist. He's a friend. He's amazing. And how he's been able to connect to Maya is profound, but also, and it's a blessing. We miss her. We need her presence. We need her essence. We need that groundedness, that connection to earth in our soul that we're starting to go away from, truthfully. As we advance in technology, although it has its pros, as we're here to share, use social media. Be creative with your content to boost your brand and your business. Also, remain human. Keep in touch with your soul and listen to your soul and actually use that to fuel content, original creativity that comes from within. So I have seen DeCarlo's evolution from just having fun on Instagram to taking off on TikTok. I mean, over 18,000 followers. That just goes to show you that when you put in the work, and Maya said this, because if you don't work it, it's not going to work, all right? It's not happening just by magic. You do have to put in the work, and it never fails. So I want to switch things up and have a little fun tonight, and I want to play a game, a little trivia, to help our viewers get warmed up to using these platforms, using things that we use every day as creatives. It comes easy to us, but it may be intimidating to others, but that's all right. Again, as I mentioned earlier, if you have a smartphone, y'all, you can do these things. You can do them. And right now, Tap In While it's free, because you know how they do these subscriptions and memberships and so on and so forth. It ain't gonna last for long. So while it's here, use what you got. Okay. And yeah, I wish I could play some music. Facebook won't let me, so I'm gonna keep it calm, cool, and collected. All right, here we are. So here's how it goes. We're playing trivia, and I'm going to say a little something, and I want you to choose from these social media icons which one you think I'm referring to, and this goes out to our viewers too. If you get it right, you just may go home with some free resources because we've got goodies for you. So tap in, tune in, and let us hear from your as well. Oh, let's bring Delancia into the mix. All right, Delancia, we're just getting started with our game. I'll say a phrase and you let me know which one of these icons. All right, ready?
Yeah.
If I say I'm going to make a reel, which one of these are we talking about?
IG.
Instagram. Mhm.
Instagram, folks. So you can create snippets, put some music to it, use cool filters. Check out Dana. She makes videos all the time and get a sense of what it's like. All right, here we go. I just mentioned it. I said that Maya has over 18,000 followers on this platform. Did you catch it? If you did, which one was it? And Maya, we good on you. You got to say that.
TikTok. Look, I can't see the viewers, but can I answer too?
Yes, you can.
TikTok, because listen, I have to go follow you now. I mean, I just love the imagination of Maya Angelou. It's one of my favorites to recite her poems in all the way from elementary school all the way through high school. So I love it.
We love Maya.
The world loves her. Okay, let's keep it rolling. If I ask you to subscribe to my channel, where am I telling you to go?
YouTube.
YouTube, y'all. YouTube it up. Now let's get real. My content creators, if you're good at what you do and people like what you have to share, you can make over $1,000 in a week. sometimes in a day if you get good at this. So don't sleep on YouTube, y'all. There's a future as a content creator. Okay, let's keep it moving and grooving. If I'm on the line here and I can hear people talking, I can chime in too, but no one can see me. This is exclusive. You have to be invited to this platform. Where am I telling you to go?
Clubhouse.
Club. That's what I thought. I didn't see it, but Clubhouse.
Going up in the club, y'all. Going up. All right. Well, this one we can't be too ratchet. We gotta, stay calm, cool, and collected. Button your shirt, fix your tie. Make sure your edges are laid. Just kidding. This is another thing that people sleep on, though. And if you get this right, for our viewers tuning in, you'll get a freebie from the Savvy Business Chick, who is the go-to guru of this platform. Y'all, what am I talking about?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
LinkedIn. That's right. LinkedIn.
You got to make sure your hair is laid, your edges are down, your resume is updated. And remember, when you're on LinkedIn, when someone shows you who they truly are, believe them the first time.
Absolutely.
First time. I think we've got one more here. We happen to be going live on this platform, and this is typically where you find family and friends, lots of community. But as content creators, we sleep on this one too. You can get a lot of attention if you join groups, if you create groups, the list goes on and on. Which platform are you talking about, though?
Facebook.
The book of face.
That's it. Awesome. I love it. So I hope if you're tuning in and you're watching us whether now or later on, that you have been taking some notes. So let's move right along here. And I want to dive back into Delancia's share from her podcast, the Floor Podcast. It's important that we create healthy boundaries, whether it's you as a mom, you as a content creator, maybe you're a teacher, maybe you work for yourself, maybe you have a full-time job and a side hustle. That's all right, because we all here do it a little different. And when we do it different, we tell people, no, I'm sorry, not this time. I would love to hear from our guest this evening. Let's maybe about 2 or 3 examples of things for the sake of respecting yourself that you just gotta say no to. Let's start with you, Delancia, since this is your podcast.
Yes. So the 2 things that are like absolute no's for me. One, if when there's just something that I do not want to do, if it's something that is a time waster, people ask you to be a part of things all the time, and if it does not align with what I am doing, I have to say no to it. If it's something, if it's not benefit, and everything doesn't have to be beneficial, per se, but if I'm not going to get something out of it, I have to say no to it. So whether it doesn't always have to be monetary, but definitely it has to be beneficial to me in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And so I would just have to say absolutely no to it. If somebody is asking me to provide a service for free, I don't work for an employer for free. And as an entrepreneur, it's a lot of work that goes into what we do, from creating content, setting that time aside to give quality content. I cannot work for free, unfortunately. And there's a way you say that, and you can say, hey, is this a paid opportunity? And if it's no, well, unfortunately, at this time, I cannot participate in that thing that you want me to participate in. So people have to be okay with hearing that no.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Dana, how about you?
So for me, bad vibes is an absolutely no, 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 don't want to be around that energy. So I am very sensitive to that, both my daughter and I. So that energy is an absolute no for me. And I will say for umbrella perspective, it would be anything that's more just unhealthy. Like I do things in moderation. I'm not perfect, but things that's just blatantly like that it doesn't align, right? Or is conducive to where I want to go as far as my goals, as far as in my engagement with my daughter, engagement with other parents. So anything that is can hinder or push me back a little bit that yeah, push me back from my goals. So anything that's toxic or bad vibes, that's the only thing I say no to.
It's a no. It's just a no.
It's just a no.
It's just a no. Maya, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think that it's important that we always say no. You have to realize that nothing will work unless you do. And also, you have to understand that you may not be in control of the events that may happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. And you have to find the self worth in yourself. And we cannot downplay our self worth. And sometimes when we're offered opportunities, and that do not put us in a place where we feel like we are worth something, we must say no. We can't be worthless for everyone. We have to be worth something for ourselves. And some people may not like it. And the truth of the matter is, no one can really pay us what our worth is. We find the joy in doing the work that gives us worth. That's what really pays our worth. But at the end of the day, you have to understand, and people have to understand, even in Black businesses, some people just have to say no. And it's okay to say no. Someone has to get a no in their spirit. Someone has to realize that no is okay. Yes is fine, but yes can be detrimental
Amen.
all the time to you. And especially when you're building a brand or when you're building a business or when you have steps that and for things that you do for yourself, you can't always avail yourself. And it's important to not be available to everybody. You know, and we think about the Bible, where the Bible says that charity starts at home. But when he talks about charity starting at home, it's not just the things that you do at home, but it's the things that you do for yourself. Self-care is important. Your job will always be there. But what do you do when you have to self-care for yourself? Sometimes it means a no.
Thank you. So, Maya, you can definitely speak to that because you've had some years on vaudeville, you've been on television, you've been on the stage, you've been worldwide, you speak multi languages. You can connect to the people in so many ways. And I'm wondering if you could just take a moment to reflect because I think this speaks to mothers who, well, they've been doing for everybody else, just like you said, giving, giving, giving. And, Mother's Day is about settling down and taking in the love and taking in the appreciation on, even if it's just one day. They deserve more, but even if it's just one day. So I want you as a mom, as a person who has a mom, as a person who's been around the block to reflect with us on a few moments in time. So I have a few pictures, images that may look familiar to you, and just share with us what comes to spirit, comes to soul, comes to mind, what comes to your heart when you see them.
Mm. Flourish. This one right here, this picture says to me that you may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. And I will also add to that, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Ah, this one was with my dear friend Oprah. What a kind, kind lady she is. I remember, and I said this before, when someone shows you who they truly are, believe them. One of the greatest lessons that I've ever learned. Because, see, the fact of the matter is, we have to believe who people show us who they are, the initial time that they show us. Because if we don't believe them, we will allow them to continue to treat us the way that they would like to treat us. And then when they do it, we sit and we say, oh, well, oh, I don't know why they're treating me like this. Why are you doing me like this? Why are you making me feel like this? That's because you didn't believe them. And you ought to believe them the first time. Mm. I said this, nothing will work unless you do. That means you have to do for yourself. There's things, again, that you have to say no to. There's things that you ought to say yes to. But if you don't have the sense of drive, if you don't have drive to complete your journey, then nothing will work for you. You have to understand that you have the will within and that you must push and that you must birth certain things in your life. And knowing that when you can push and when you can birth, that there is work that comes along with it. And there's things that you want, but you have to work it. If you don't work it, you can't have it. So nothing will work unless you do. Mm. A rock, a river, a tree. I've learned that people will forget what you said. They will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And it's always important that we always put in our minds what we can do for people, how we make them feel. We often hear it's not what you say, but it's how you said it. And so sometimes knowing the the thoughts that come before, the intention, the drive behind what you say, that will always put people in a place where they've either felt like they've been accepted or they felt like that you have declined them. So keep in mind that people will always remember how you feel and how you made them feel. Mm. This one says to me, my mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive and to do so with some passion and some compassion, some humor, and some style. Mm.
So I'm going to come out of Maya for a moment. And I, because for her, just knowing her story, a musician, a singer, I mean, we could sit here and talk about Maya Angelou all day of all of her achievements, but she is a staple, a trailblazer for us uh, as Americans, but also as people of color, as Black people, as African Americans, whatever you all refer, yourself as. Maya Angelou is the reason why we have such great affirmations today. We can always think about things that she has said, on television or said through her poems or
just being a phenomenal woman. And it's because of her we have. She walked so that we all can run, not just women, not just mothers, not just entrepreneurs, not just actresses, singers, writers, but also for men as well. So it's because of you. And so we thank you, Maya Angelou, for all that you have done for us and for the culture.
Absolutely. Thank you for that share. So we're just about time to say goodbye, adieu, and it's been amazing just to reflect on motherhood, just to talk about mompreneurship, just to be in the midst of mothers, and to have you all here with us, to sharing with these moments. We touched on so much, rite of passage, giving things to our sons and daughters, nieces and nephews, community, using creativity to take us to that next level and help people to see us for how we appear online, but also for how and who we really are. So I hope that you've been inspired this evening. If you missed any part of the share, know that this is available for repost. You can always go from the top. We would love to have your feedback. So even comments after tonight's live are welcome. So feel free. We do have some special things and giveaways for you this evening. So I didn't want to part before we offer them. Again, shout out to our sponsors who said yes to hosting us. Island Signature Magazines, Trend Globe Media. Without your support, we would only be touching a few, but with your support, this is international and we are touching many. So here's our first giveaway for the evening. If you're a creator in Knoxville, Maryland, check this out. Space is an open space for you to rent for podcast recording, creating images and videos, maybe just getting away and having a work day, meeting other people in this co-working art space. Patrice, mompreneur and owner, is offering 20% off of your booking. So you want to follow them on Insta and Facebook and send this over to her, hashtag Camp 2021. Tell her Kayla sent you and you should be in the win. Another one is from the Savvy Business Chick. She's all over, y'all. I mean, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. If you're not good at LinkedIn, she is a great resource for you. She's giving away something that's called Do You Need Your Hand for Your Brand. You might want to take this one. Reach out to her on Insta and give her your hashtag SavvyBusiness2021 to collect your giveaway freebie. And this goes to our guests as well. Just so that you know. Our next giveaway is from our guest for the evening. Dana, I'll let you plug in your giveaway for tonight.
Okay, hello again. So my giveaway is gonna be a lovely kit from our health and wellness line. It's going to include our detox tea that helps clean out your kidney, your colon, your liver. The samples of the NutriBurst, which helps put everything good, all the good stuff back in, and then sampled with some of our NRG, which helps with mental clarity, give any mom that extra boost that they need, and really help them have a healthier alternative outside of any of those other things that could be, filled with a lot of chemicals. So we have some natural products for you guys.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm excited. I still remember that. That was about 2 seconds, maybe 3, of head back vitamins 10 salads in one dose. Are you kidding me? Hop on, get that. You need that. And I believe, can you tell us about the delivery? Who has access to this when they purchase their product?
So, you said, okay, this is my daughter. She wanted to say hello. So you said who have access? Anyone? So as far as delivery, if you DM me at Dana DANA Marie, the hashtag DanaWin 2021, I will get those products out to you. The first person who definitely do so. And was there anything else that I missed, Kayla?
Nope, that was it.
Perfect.
Awesome, awesome. So this is Allison. She is from Barbados. Again, Island Signature Magazine's very own contributor. She is giving away a free ebook. If you're into this, if you're looking for some life lessons from leadership, make sure that you send over to her hashtag AllieWin2021. And if you're not sure how to do that, all you have to do is visit Island Signatures on Facebook or Instagram and ask them how to get connected to Allison using your winning hashtag. Now, this is also from our guest this evening, Delencia's podcast. Delencia, just share with us the benefits of actually having access to it as soon as we get off the live.
Absolutely. So some of the benefits is that you'll have the opportunity to listen to some very practical, real sage advice. You get some insights about how to move forward if you are stuck in your life. There are actually 3 episodes. One episode just dropped on yesterday entitled Step Out the Boat, and it's really talking about fueling that passion, dusting off your gifts and your talents, and really going forth with it, knowing that God got your back. The universe will align for you. So if there's anything that you want to do, get out of your way, step out of the boat, and walk on those new waters. So it talks about my journey of stepping out the boat and just giving some really practical advice about how to go for it with doing it. So nothing happens by happenstance. You can also have access to blog posts from myself and from some of my guest bloggers. And if you subscribe to Flourish, and you can reach my website at www.flourishtogrow.com. And if you subscribe, you get access to exclusive content. You can also check out some of my other services, such as my consulting and coaching services. So if you're looking for a life coach, career coach, wanting to get to the next level in your life, check me out. You can get more insights that way.
Thank you. Listen, her hustle is just different. This mompreneur hustle is different. And when Maya shared with us, no matter what space you show up in, make sure that you're showing up as you, because people will remember how you made them feel. People will remember that first impression. People will recall. So be sure to connect with Maya. Be sure to connect with DeCarlo by way of TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the things that we plugged in tonight. And I want to give this opportunity for some final thoughts and final words from our guest.
So as I sit here and we are preparing to celebrate mothers, although we should celebrate mothers every day, I would like to leave you with this poem that I wrote many years ago. Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man, a fellow stands or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me like a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes. and the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist, the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman. That's me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch me. My inner mystery, when I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breast, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman. That's me. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say, it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need for my care. Because I'm a woman, phenomenally, phenomenal woman. That's me.
Yes. Feel that. Embrace that. Woo! It's a win, y'all. It's a win. It's just, it hit me. Thank you, Maya, for your heartfelt share. Thank you for those words. The original Maya, our now ascendant master and ancestor. You can never be forgotten, and those words will continue to live on through us and with us for as long as we are here. So I want to take this time to say official thank you and bidding you adieu. Thank you to my guest this evening. Thank you to Dana for being here with us. Thank you to Delancia, to Powerhouse producers making it happen. And thank you to the Carla Rap, our special guest. You can learn more about the Artreprenuer Series by staying connected to these artists. Stay connected to us online at studiocreative.org and follow us on Instagram. And we'll see you back here, same time, same place, Friday at 7 p.m. for our next episode of the Artreprenuer Series. All about content, all about content. How can you get creative? How can you mix it up? How can you mash it up? I mean, I don't think we can go without seeing a little something from Mila and from Dana because they do this with such ease. I feel like they can just give us a little snippet of what next week is going to be like, of how to just like, use that spin to make it feel real. So I'm putting y'all on the spot right now, if you don't mind. I just would love for y'all to share some of the fun things that you do to give our viewers a taste of what next week will be like using creativity to create content.
Okay, so you said what is I'm sorry, she had slime in her hand, so it's definitely on the spot. But one more time, I'm sorry.
Anything, give us a sample of like some of the playful, fun, creative things that y'all do in the camera, social media, whether it's starting your day, just in the middle of the day, or even with your vitamins.
She's getting camera ready. All right, ready? Can you see yourself? Okay.
Come in some more, Milo. There you go.
There we go. And we just wake up in the morning, most mornings, and we take our Nutriverse. Hey. And we cheers because it immediately fills our body with so much nutrients, and we just love the energy that it gives us. And we're just so thankful to have a community. We're so thankful just to have supplements that really give our bodies that extra push. especially during times like this when we're facing a pandemic, and it's something safe, literally, that both parents and children can take of all ages. So we just love that. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Bye. So there you have it. Keep it fun, keep it fresh, keep it light, and be you. So we'll see you next week, Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, right here on Facebook Live. Thank you for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, be well,